Right. Good afternoon. Sorry, I'm a bit late. Goodness me. Things had moved. I couldn't find with the go live. I couldn't find my event on Facebook. Anyway, got there in the end. Good afternoon. It's Vanessa Baker here with another crafting on a Thursday. And just a couple of things to note this week is the celebration finishes tomorrow. So you've got until just before midnight online to place a qualifying order, which is 125 New Zealand dollars, to get your choice of a free item from the celebration offering. And all of that just pops up when you're doing the checkout. So if you don't have the brochure or aren't sure what's still available, it will all just pop up there for you to choose. And the other thing happening, it's kind of next week really, but I thought I'd mention it, is we have some more kits launching and also some online exclusives. So that begins on the 4th of March, which is Tuesday next week. So yeah, I've got a fun project for you today. Well, two projects actually. We're stepping up here. We've got two projects. So I'll just spin around. And what should we do? Should we come out a wee bit? Oh no, I can't do that. Okay, that is what it is. Right, and I will just double check that everything is working on Facebook, since I did have that problem earlier. Refresh my screen, make sure I'm actually live. Okay, all good. Fantastic. Right. So today I wanted to use the little stamps that I talked about last week that come in the Beautiful Butterfly set, and they are to make the detail on the wings. So that was my intention, and I've ended up doing, I've kind of got bits of things here, but I'm doing a card where I've cut out the butterfly so it makes a butterfly shaped card. So that's the first project, and that will stand up, and it's just so cute. I just love that shape, and I'm just going to decorate that, and that will be one card. And then I'm going to also do a full-sized card and actually have it this way, because the ones I've done so far, we've had the butterfly that direction, which is your landscape style. So I'm going to do one portrait style, and in the same sort of colorings and everything as my stand-up one. Okay, so to do this, I got my folded, I thought I would prepare it ahead, but I'll show you. Got just a normal, I mean, I've actually just used a normal card size, but you can cut it down to the width of this die if you want to save paper. And then you just line it up. I don't know how easy that is to see, but at the very top of the die, there's a little line on both sides. So you just line that up with the fold of your card. So this is a normal card base. So you just line that up with the top there, and you can tape it in place and run it through your die cutting machine, and that will cut out that shape. Now, mine might have been slightly below where it should have been, and it had funny little things here. I just snipped them off. So it doesn't matter if it's not exactly in the right place, it still works. Okay? Right, so we'll just put that away. Okay, excuse me. Put that to one side, and I've got my stamps here. Right, so I'm doing a bit of a vintage feel for the card. So starting off with the elements of text, one of the stamps from that set, and I'm doing that in Petal Pink. The name escaped me. Petal Pink. And the reason I've got paper here is because I'm going to be stamping off a lot. So I want a lighter version of each of these stamps. So I'm going to start on my paper here to get rid of some of the ink. And this is what we also call second generation stamping. And then I'm just going to go on an angle and just pop some text on my butterfly. This is the beauty of this sort of technique. There's no right or wrong way. I'm just going to do it. I might go that way. Because it's a light touch and it's a background, so it doesn't matter if it's not straight. There's no sort of specific positioning for the stamps, if you like. So I'll just leave that one open, but I'll move the stamp over. Then I'm going to stamp my... I was going to do that. I might do the splodges. No, I'll do this first, sorry. Okay, so I've got Petal Pink here. No, sorry, Pretty in Pink. And I'm going to add these detailed parts to the wings. And what I've sort of worked out is, what did I do? I had the longest, so you can sort of see on the stamp, the one, now I've muddled them up. I had them sorted. If you put them down side by side, you can sort of see one goes left and one goes right slightly. So that's what I used for deciding which one to put on each side. And then for the top ones, I used the opposite version. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to stamp it off and then stamp it. And I'm just sort of aiming for the middle of that area and angling the pointed part of the wing towards the body, and you get that. And then with the same stamp, I'm going to do that again up on this other side. So the first one kind of follows the curve of that, but the second one is just, there's not really a curve to follow, so just have them sort of pointing towards each other. So this is this end. And that one. So that's how you use these detailed wing stamps. Okay, so now, I'm going to leave that open too, because we're going to use that again. Just put those. I found that the blocks are quite shiny through the camera if I lay them flat. Okay, so now we've got some, from the Elements of Text stamp set, you get these sort of splodgy stamps, very technical term. And again, I'm going to stamp them off, and then I want that sort of on the body and around the butterfly. So I might do 2 of that, and then one up there and one, even go like across there and get a bit on each part. It's just to look random. Okay, so that's and that was in Pecan Pie. I love this combination of that sort of orangey pink and then the actual pink and the brown. It's a really nice combo. Okay, so then I have put a little bit of colour. So because this is sort of a vintagey look, I wanted to add some ink blending, which is a very vintage type thing to do. So I'm just going very lightly with the same pink, Pretty in Pink, just over where I've done that stamping. So I'm just adding, you can still see the stamping, you've still got the outline of those wing details, but I'm just adding a bit of ink to it. And then with the Petal Pink, I'm going to go sort of where I put the words, so a bit more around the edge where those words are. And you can sort of blend it into the other pink, but it's not a heavy coating, so you don't really need to worry about where the two colours meet. Okay, that's just a very light. And then just around the edges, I've put the darker, the pecan. It just helps to define the shape a little bit more. We were hoping for some rain today. It's quite cloudy, but haven't received any yet. We need it because we're trying to grow some grass to feed our sheep. And just put the brown, I sort of thought, on the body there as well. It's got a bit of the petal pink and a bit of the brown. Okay, so that's looking really cool. And this is the basis of what we'll be doing later on the main card as well, this sort of background technique. Okay, so my next layer is a detailed butterfly, which I cut from Basic White. And I'm going to stick that. I might do what I did the other time, actually, and just put the wings up on tiny dimensionals. Now, I did look for my snips. What have I done with them? I had them, I must have had them earlier. They've disappeared. Sometimes I leave them on my desk. No. They're definitely not in my pen holder. They're probably right in front of me. You can probably see them. So I'm going to have to grab another pair. Okay. These have got a bit of sticky on them, but they will make them do. Okay. So just going to cut some thin edge pieces here. And turn over our little butterfly. And just pop these along. Make sure I'm on camera. Actually, that could probably be a half a piece. It's sort of a bit big for there. Okay. Now, I don't know how many of you actually save these videos. Something that I do when I see somebody do something really cool, and then if I can't do it myself straight away, I might want to save it for a later date. Facebook are actually changing the storage on videos, and it's not surprising because I always make mine to last forever, so they never get deleted. And as I do that each month, I think, wow, they must have a lot of storage to keep everybody's videos forever. So they have actually just changed it now so that videos will be deleted after 30 days. So even if you've saved my video to your saved items in Facebook, if you go back after 30 days and click that link, the video won't be there. So I wanted to let you know that I do upload these videos to YouTube. So every week I do the video and upload it to YouTube pretty much straight away afterwards. So if it has been deleted from here, you can go there. And YouTube is also a great search engine. So you can just type in, you know, if you've seen me do something with this butterfly and you remember that, you can just type in, you know, beautiful butterflies and on my channel, and YouTube will find it for you. So that's pretty amazing. And my channel on YouTube is Confetti Card Studio. So you should be able to find me there, or there's a link on my website to that. Okay, now the ribbon. So I know that my mum, who watches this, was she liked my one that I did with the fancy ribbon. So I thought I'd do that again. So this is the basic beige bordered ribbon. So I'm going to cut it through the middle. So I've just cut a length to make a bow. And these bows, they look amazing, but they really are quite easy. And especially with this ribbon, because this ribbon's going to fray, and it's a really cool look when you're doing something sort of vintagey, is to have your frayed ribbon. Okay, so before it starts fraying too much, I'm going to form my bow. So I'm just going to get them all facing the same way so they're not twisted. Which they just seem to want to twist back up again. Right. Now you can do it round something, but I find it just as easy to just do it freehand, as it were. So I want my tails, so I'm sort of looking at the proportions of where my tails are and where how big the bow part is. So if I just form that with my hands like that and then just pop it down, I can sort of see how big it's going to turn out. Okay, so that's about right. I'm happy with that. And now if I actually leave it there, it might make it a little bit easier. So now I'm going to come in, I've got a piece here ready of the gold twisted thread, I think it's called. And I'm going to make that into a tie through the middle. So I'm just trying to pick it up again. It's a little bit tricky, but it's good. And then I've got two, just seeing where my tails are. It's two there and two there. So I want to go in the middle of that. And it doesn't have to be even or particularly perfect. That's kind of the look, is to have it imperfect. And then I'm just going to tie this in about the middle. So at this point I can make my loops different sizes. I can play with the lengths because it's kind of nice to have a smaller one and a larger one, I think. Okay, and then when you're happy, you just pull that tight and then just tie it again. Okay, and then you can, to a certain extent, play with the tails and get them. Oh, it's going through the loop. So I'm unlooping the tails. Right. So that's about right. And then I would start to fray it now. So I'm going to fray and because it's all tied in there together, the frayed bits are not going to go loose and fly around the place. I might lose some little bits like that. But in general, they should come off and still be a loop. I'm just pulling at it with my fingers. And I just work one loop at a time. And I'm just pulling a few threads out. Then I'll do the next one. And it depends on the way you've got it facing. So this one's actually facing towards the other one. But the more you handle it too, the more it'll just fray on its own. So that was quite a good one. And see, then I've got all these little wispy bits. And I love that look. I'll pull all these out. I actually got this bow from Vicky Boucher demo from Australia. Gave this idea. Right. So that's my bow. So I'm going to, and I want that sort of as flat as possible. That's why I didn't do it into tie a bow in the middle, because you just get that lump of the ribbon. Even though it's quite thin, it's just too bulky. Okay, so I'm going to stick that on with glue dots. One glue dot should hold that on. I want it sort of going across the butterfly like that. And then I'm going to fray the tail leg pieces as well. A little bit. And just pulling those threads. So I've got lots of things hanging down. And I've also got that little bit of gold from that gold thread in there, which is lovely too. So it's the cut edge that will do the fraying. Okay, so now I've got lots of wispy bits, and you can give it a trim. So I might just trim some of these longer pieces and give it a nice point. Oops, getting stuck to my scissors. Okay, loving that. Is this sort of soft vintage something that you like? I'd love to know in the comments if this is your type of project. Okay, now I've got some new, and I need to check and see if these are available yet. Low profile dots. They might be part of that new suite that's coming, part of the online exclusives, but I can just check. Just quickly, and then you'll know whether they're available now. Oh no, they're available now. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so these are called low profile dots. They're very flat. Don't know if you can see if I twist that slightly. They're not raised very much at all, and they're self-adhesive. And you've got this beautiful petal pink, and this colour, I think they called it clear, but it really is kind of a bit of a gold, and it looks really cool on this with this colour scheme. Right, use my trusty tool. Oh, I should put the words on first, actually. So my words, I've pre-done this. I've got happy birthday to go across there. And the idea is to put them on dimensionals. Gosh, I've lost that fingernail and it's so annoying. I just want to pick everything up with it and nothing happens. Okay, so if I put my dimensionals on top of the ribbon, it will, they won't all be at the same height and it doesn't feel properly secured to me. So I'm actually going to go down in between and put a dimensional in between that loop, and then another one on the other side, the same. Just parting the ribbon, going in with my glue dot, my dimensional. And I've pulled the backing off, and then I could put a glue dot on the back of here in the center where it's going to go past that middle of the bow, and that will just help it. So as I'm doing, I'm thinking about the heights, right? So I'm trying to bring up the edges of this to the same height as the middle, and then so the middle I'm using a thinner adhesive, a thinner attachment. Okay, now I want that kind of in the middle over my dimensionals. There we go, sort of like that. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Happy about that. Okay, then we've got our little flat dots to go on. Now, where does it need? It might need something over here. And I'm going to frame the words, so perhaps another one down here. I tend to always, oh, it's stuck to my little tool. Seem to always work left to right like that. And then I might go up a bit higher, maybe through there, maybe through the dot, through the loop of the ribbon. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then we can put in the inside, we can put, actually I wonder if I should leave that because it's not really a lot of room for writing, is it? Or we could just put a little bit of something. So if we went in with just the top of the words, perhaps down in this corner here, what angle would that look good on? It's like that, just a little something, and also a splodge. So we'll do a splodge over the top. just to tie it in with the front. And you could still write over that perfectly easily. Oh, it might have been nice too. I just suddenly looked. I could have done my stamp up the edge of the wing, like up there, and just caught a little bit of the edge of both wings. That would be nice too. But I'm happy with that. And like I say, it stands up by itself and it makes a really cute little card. You could easily put a hole in the corner and make that as a gift tag on a gift as well as a card. Okay, so then keeping in the same sort of theme, my pieces here. So we're going to do a portrait card with the butterfly. And I'm going to make my background. So the background is using the same as before. So we've got our our words. Oops, I'm dropping things here. Okay. So there and maybe there. The words. And I'm going to do some butterflies this time. So I've got so in the stamp set, you've got a little half butterfly and one that I've momentarily lost. Here it is. And a full butterfly. So I'm going to do those in the pink. So this is sort of in place of those detailed wing parts that we did. So still keeping with the pink and just doing, and you want these things to overlap. And I might do one sort of there. And then the little half one. Actually, 3 might be enough. Oh, I'll do one up in the corner. 3's and got to do, actually, I might need a larger one coming in off the side. That's probably better. And then the smaller one, I think I've already stamped that off. Again, just coming in off the edge somewhere. Let's just do it. No, that's the same angle as that. So I'm trying to keep different angles and things. Maybe over the top of the words. Just pop them there. Okay. Now we want some ink splodges. And I'm sort of not worrying too much about this area here. You'll see why shortly, because I'm actually going to emboss over this background with the embossing folder. Okay, so we've got our 2 different kinds of shapes of ink splodges. And again, you don't have to use the whole thing, so just a few dots here and there sometimes is enough. Do want something up here. Okay, and I'm going to do the same sort of sponging. So with the Pretty in Pink, I'm going to sponge just my pink butterflies. And with the Petal Pink, I'm sort of doing the words. And I might do just a bit more with that one on. Actually, I do feel like that needs something in there. Oh, I know, there's some other text in that text. Got a smaller one. Make sure it's up the right way, yes. stamp it off, and then we'll just go through here on an angle. Nice. Yes, happy about that. And then maybe just because we don't want one of something, we'll just put a little bit more in. I think that's fine. I'm going to leave it there. Right, and then I can just add a bit more of that Petal Pink over the top of that, and in the gaps, and then add the Pecan Pie, darker one on the edge. And you can also, with this, just lift it up and just sort of flick the brush against the edge of the card. That's quite a good way of getting just a nice thin amount of ink. And then just sponge a little bit on all the way around. Just want it on that edge, just that little bit darker. Okay, so now once I've done that, all that background, I'm now going to run it through my embossing folder, which I had out before. Oh, here it is. Okay, so I want to turn it this way because I want my butterfly in this portrait position, and you can see through and just make sure that the wings of that big one are both on the folder. And actually I might just twist it. Oh no, I'm going to go off. See how I'm going off the edge here? So if I want the whole thing in, I can only go that far and put it there. Right, so this is going to now put an imprint of those butterflies on top of the colour that we've just added. Ta-da! So you can see there, it's a really cool background now with the embossing over the top of the sponging and that effect in the background. Okay, so the next step is to add our butterfly. So this one I'm putting just over the top of that embossed one. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's quite a lot of detail there. And then I've got this detailed one that I've cut to go over the top. It's just all about the layers. Excuse me. So I'm going to do the same thing with the dimensionals. So I get that little bit of height on the edges of the wings. So 3 guys should be enough. And there. Oh no, I did do extras, didn't I? I'll do this as the half one. Do another one and cut it in half for the bottom. Just on these bigger areas where you can just squeeze in a dimensional. Right. There we go, and then a little bit of glue. Trying to do that one-handed. Oh, my glue's oozing. One little drop will be fine. I'll just get a scrap. So when you get a blob like that, I'm just going to spread it out with a scrap piece of paper. Scrape some off because otherwise it will ooze out. Okay. Right, so positioning this over the top of that embossed butterfly. And we want that body to stick down, so that's good. Okay, and then I've got my bow. What I might do is attach it to the base first. And I'm just wondering if I want to... I actually might put that on dimensionals. I feel like it just gives it something. The other thing I can do it on an angle. No, I think I'll just do it. Dimensionals. Sometimes you see someone else's work and you have trouble getting that out of your head. So I did get the bow and the colour scheme from Vicky, so I'm trying to make this a bit different to her card. Right. There we go. And then I've got a bow that I've already prepared earlier because I've now shown you what I did for that. So I might stick it on first and then I'll trim it. So I take my bow to my glue dot, pull it off, and then straight onto my card. Now, why is that sticking up? That's better. So I've already done quite a bit of fraying on this one, and I've been handling it as I've been making both the cards. So just haven't angled these ends yet. Right. Okay, and I've got another happy birthday that's going to come over. And I'm just going to bring that through that loop. Figure out where I can put my dimensionals on either side. And I want the small ones here. That's a good spot there, and then one on the other side. Actually do it in there. And then a glue dot for the centre. This one feels a little bit long. Oh, I think it's just that end. Let's trim it a wee bit. Here's my centre. Okay, so I want it to touch the dimensionals and then the centre of the bow, like that. So pretty. Okay, that little thing is bugging me a bit. I might just tuck it under there. Yeah, so you can sort of still play with the bow a little bit once it's done. And that is bugging me there. Right, that's better. Oh, I'm happy with that. Okay, and then we've got our little flat dots to go on. So again, I tend to work left to right. So something down here. Aren't they pretty? They don't specifically, I don't think they call them gold, but they really are. I'll have to check that. And I love how flat they are. Okay, and then we did the other one on the butterfly wing, but I'm wondering, oh yeah, I might just do it up there, because I feel that that's going to get a bit lost if I put it in the ribbon. Maybe just off the wing, just there. Yeah, very pretty. Oh, I didn't even prepare an inner for this one. Been busily creating this morning, so I'll just have to cut one. And I think we'll do that, what I suggested for the butterfly, and do the words going up the side on the very edge. It's my trimmer here. Oops, there we go. Right, take our Petal Pink, stamp it off, and then just go like that, and again like that, and some splodges. Perhaps do one of each. And we could even do one of the little butterflies, couldn't we? I feel. Stamp it off and then pop it in the middle there. Nice. And a little bit of sponging to make it all tie in with the front. So what I do here is, so you can just do the one edge with the darker one. Or you can go right round, and I'm just thinking, I just like the one edge, I think. Kind of quite happy with that, how it ties in. Just put a little bit more pink. Blend it. Trying to get the last off the brush there. Okay, happy with that. Go in with the Petal Pink. Okay, very happy with that and how it ties in with the front of the card. Now I'll get my oozy glue. Not even squeezing it. You definitely don't want to squeeze this glue too much. And then if you like to decorate your envelopes, you can also do a similar design on the envelope very easily to tie it all in together. So just close up these ink pads. And bring back in my first little card, the shaped one. So there they are together. I think you'll agree they are a matching pair and super cute. And I really love how the bow turned out and the vintagey background as well. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and you'll join me again next week. And please let me know if you like this sort of style of card. I'd love to get your feedback on that. Okay, see you again. Bye.